Hey VV Nation, I'm Glenn.
And I'm Ryan. We've got a special event coming next month, May 1st. We're finally hitting the road. Now we will be hosting some live streams. Tell them a little bit about the live streams we'll be doing.
We're gonna have the Stock Analysis Power Hour. Ryan will host that. Bring your stocks, let Ryan break them down for you. I'll also do a live stream called Trending Thursday. That's where we go through, look at what's going on in the market, what's going on in the news, and we analyze stocks. We also have a live presentation for those people who will be attending live as well. What's that, Ryan?
Now, we do have the presentation titled Unlocking the Secrets of Financial Success. Now, to register for free and get the details, just go to vectorvest.com/roadshow.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. Man, this market just don't know what it wants to do. If you can hear me loud and clear, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. Man, this volatility is kicking a lot of people in the butts. Make sure you tune in for tomorrow's video. The 6 p.m. video is all about volatility, and how it affects your portfolio and what you can do to avoid all of this humongous volatility. I see people are typing into the room. That's awesome, to make sure everybody knows that they can hear me. Everybody can hear me. Mark says, VV Brooklyn in the house. Yeah, I may be going back to New York real soon, so we'll see. That's another story for another time. But I'm waiting for the alert to hit. Well, it must have hit. We got 164 people is just jumping up. That's great. So as we look, big, huge day yesterday. The announcement of a 90-day pause on tariffs, and the market took off to historic levels. The NASDAQ up 12%, the Dow up 10%. Big move in the market. And for all intents and purpose, for the purposes of looking for a market bottom, yesterday was the blast-off day. But what did Ryan and I talk about yesterday? Looking for follow-through today. All right, KC, good today. You mean KG? Or KC is another stock. Yep. What stocks are moving up today? Troy says, what are your thoughts on gold? Gold is still on the rise. And I'm going to tell you, if you're going to take a gold play, be specific about which gold plays you take. Not everything in the gold space is moving up. Some are moving up really nicely. We're going to take a look at some of those today. What a roller coaster ride we're on. Joe, you ain't about whistling Dixie. For sure, you are not whistling Dixie. Excuse me for a second. And with that being said, tomorrow's 6 p.m. video is going to address the whole volatility issue and what you need to do as investors in this volatile time. And I don't remember the last time I seen a candlestick. Oh, Kansas City is in Kansas City. Okay, I didn't know. There you go, Michael. I appreciate the clarification. I can't remember the last time I seen a candle look like it did yesterday. So let's look at what's going on the homepage. A lot more red than we have yellow. Even with the big move that we had yesterday, primary wave still down. It's going to take us a long time before we can get a green light in the color guard pricing column. But the MTI and buy-to-sell ratios did move up out of the oversold levels. Market still was at a point yesterday where it was looking for a bottom. The market up today, down today. As a matter of fact, let's go move right into the software. All right, all of the major indices. Let's go back to that real quick. Joey, get me back to my main screen. Yeah, thank you. As you can see, all of the major indices are down by a lot. 2% on the Dow, over 3% on the NASDAQ, 3% on the S&P, 2% down on the composite. Green light possible on the 16th. You know how many days that is from now, Bill? That's a long time. And in the current market conditions, 6 calendar days from today, a lot can happen. A lot can happen, whether good, bad, or indifferent. And I think all of the volatility is based on what's going on with the tariffs. All of the major investors in the market, or just investors in general, are looking to hear good news about the tariffs. Tariffs, whether you like them or not, I'm not going to get into that, are causing havoc on the market. And the tariffs are on, the tariffs are off, the tariffs are on, the tariffs are paused, tariffs not a pause, tariffs are pause. We're only pausing it on several countries. China is not in that list. And the China US tariff battle is just escalating. 125, 145% tariff on China. I mean, at some point in time, you got to say, holy smokes, what the flying flip is going on? Bill says gold is at 3178, and right now it could go even higher. But again, gold is in play. We're taking a look at it. Ferrari red, the color guard is. I'm just telling you that the color guard is giving you insights as to what's going on in the market. The color guard says, yo, you shouldn't be buying long right now. How many of you still are holding contra ETFs, type of 1? Alibaba may be going up, but do you know something? Any stocks outside of gold that are going up, I need you to keep your eyes on them. And that's what this whole volatility thing is all about. You see a stock that's going up, you say, I'm in it, and then it gets killed. And then you get out of it, and then it goes back up, and you're like, oh, man, why did I get out of it? You get back into it, and then it gets killed again. You're like, oh, man, how many of you are in this back and forth relationship with your stocks? Just type a me. How many of you are in this back and forth relationship in the current stocks that you're trying to trade? Type a me in the room. And I'm thinking that a lot of you are. A lot of you are. This is a trader's market, folks. It really is. And it's even hard to day trade with as much movement we got in the market right now. Joey and I were joking yesterday and saying, it's not even the volatility on a day-over-day basis. It's not the volatility on an hour-over-hour basis. It's almost volatility on a minute-over-minute basis, and that makes it tough for everybody to make money. John says, not me. All right, and you know something? The people, Glenn, don't understand the question. The question is, how many of you are back and forth in your stocks because they go up, you make a little bit of money, and then they crash down, you lose a little bit of money, then you get back in, you make a little bit of money, and it crashes so hard again, you lose a little bit of money. That was the question, Bill. That was the question. R. Saxena said me. Now, I'm going to assume, this is an assumption on my part, I'm going to assume that people who are saying not me, for the most part, are either day trading or they're holding through the downturns. It's one of the two. It's either they're day trading, so they're not getting affected by it, or you're holding through the downtrends, and that sucks. Wide swings in your portfolio is not a comfortable thing. But if you've got the wherewithal to just go through it, then so be it. All right, then so be it. Ben says both. Eric says not me, and I'm with everybody who says not me. You're doing something right, and nothing wrong with that. Here on VectorVest, though, I'm going to try to err on the side of caution because I'm not going out to find what a lot of people on the channel, on other channels do. I'm not going to tell you that, hey, this stock is going to be the next multi-bagger stock, or this is the stock you got to keep your eyes on. And I can't do that in all fairness, knowing that volatility is so high. Let's get into the software now. Knowing that volatility is so high, there's yesterday's big candle. I can't remember the last time I seen a candle in the software that big. And look at this. What did Ryan and I say? We need confirmation. Did we get confirmation? No. But even on a day like today, let's go change this from end of day to intraday, 5-minute bars, current day. What's the market doing? Down. Oh, look at the run. Down. Oh, look at the run. And look at the beginning of another down. That was my question, Bill. How many of you trying, even on a day trade side, how many of you are caught up in that back and forth with your stocks? It's even tough day trade. Somebody says we need the Jockey Club. For those of you who are watching us in the Jockey Club, we are very specific about the trades that we have. I think right now in the Jockey Club with Steve, I think we only have gold stocks. I think in my real world portfolio, all I own is I own Palantir, I own 2 gold stocks, and I own a hedge. I own SQQQ. All right. So I have 4 stocks: Palantir, 2 gold stocks, and SQQQ. I think that's probably the best place to be. Gold, when it moves, it'll help me in regards to my SQQQ. And when gold's not moving or Palantir's going down, my Contra, again, my SQQQ, I think it's a good balance of stocks right now. SOXS and SOXL up one day, down the next day. I got killed on SQQQ yesterday. Yeah, with that big move up, big up day yesterday, I think it went down like 50%. You have them in options or shares. I have them in shares, David. Now, in other portfolios where I do play primarily options, then I'm playing options there. All right. But my main portfolio that I ever talked to you guys about, I have them in shares. And there we go again. Like I just said, pull back down, hammer formation intraday, nice move up, little bit, looks almost like a bearish engulfing right here, down, another little hammer up, no engulfing pattern here, but another pullback down. This is what we're going through every single day. And like I said, tomorrow's video is going to address the whole volatility spectrum. How many of you are solely sitting in cash? Type of 1 in the room. Very interested about that. How many of you are solely sitting in cash? All right. And I'm not mad at you about that. You know why? Because cash is a position. Cash is a position. And I'm okay with that. Why this guy is hurting us like this? What are you talking about? Me? He's not. Oh, you talking about the president? Listen, and again, no matter how you feel about the tariffs, my opinion is the tariffs are actually doing what they're designed to do. All right. Which is to get people to the table to negotiate. Now, short term, do I like it? No, it's painful. It's painful because people react to what's going on and it's driving the market crazy, driving up volatility. All right. I've never seen this much price action on a day-to-day basis, Christopher, which is why you see a lot of those ones popping up in the room. There's a lot of people sitting in cash. But don't forget that cash is a position. Cash is a position. A Fox says, I'm up 52% for the year. I have no problem sitting this out until I see buying indicators. And again, what are you looking for? Trade the chart. The chart doesn't give me any indication that it's okay to buy even after yesterday's historic rise in the market. All right? Let the market come to you. Nice move. And you know why people jumped in the market today? I'll tell you why. It's called fear of missing out. Oh my gosh, I missed out on yesterday. I got to get in. And then what's happening? You're feeling the effects again. Trade the chart, not your heart. Carol says 99.7% in cash. I'm calling it the Ivory Soap portfolio. I like that. You remember the Ivory Soap commercials? Does anybody still use Ivory Soap? I don't know. Can you still buy Ivory Soap? I don't know. Jake says, thanks, VV, for the advice. It's not advice, folks. It's guidance. Advice means I'm telling you what stocks to buy and sell. I can't do that. I'm not a licensed broker, but it is guidance. It is guidance. All right. So Amir says, but I'm still losing 40%. I went to cash before the market went up. My Contra's Halo's position, I'm still losing. Then maybe, Amir, just like you saw a lot of ones in the room, maybe it's not a bad idea to sit in cash, but only you can make that decision. Rose says, yes, I have Ivory Soap. I don't like it long-term either. Right now, look at the weekly SPY in a downward trend, still in near negative MA crossover territory. I think, Christopher, when we do get some resolution to the tariffs, I think long-term will be fine. But when does that happen? I have no idea. All right, that's the other side of it. I can't speculate as to when that's going to happen. But I think that if people are waiting, in line to make a deal and make trade more fair, then long-term, that might be a good thing. Glenn, on yours and Ryan's trades yesterday, do your rules say only buy on Wednesday? Yes. So if we were to go to the portfolios, let me go to the portfolios real quick. My portfolios, just so that you know, we only make trades on Wednesdays. My portfolio, I've only got Taiwan Semi in. I'm down 1.58%, down 4.62% overall. Ryan's down about 0.8%, but he's down over 9%. So, yes, just to keep it fair, we only trade on Wednesdays. We put our stops in place. And the stocks that I had yesterday, just about all of them stopped out with the exception of Taiwan Semi. It's the only stock I'm holding. So, throughout the week, when the stocks stop out, we do not replenish. We only do our portfolios lives, which puts us at a disadvantage. All right, it does put us at a disadvantage, and it is what it is. All right. Robin says, I'm following the VectorVest guidance, holding top VV rated gold stocks. I think that that's probably one of two good places to be. My other place I would trend to be would be on Contras. And then let's go look at SOXS because the semiconductors are getting killed, right? SOXS, nice little rebound after getting killed yesterday, as Amir said. Nice open candle, a lot of volume. All right, RT is still below 1. I'd really, before I jump back into SOXS, I'm currently in it. I'm a little bit more aggressive. Amir, before I think about getting back into it again, I'd like to see RT above 1. All right, notice, Amir, when RT is above 1, the stock even held here before it went back up. Does that make sense to Amir and everybody in the room who's thinking about trading SOXS? Yes or no? Does that make sense? So yesterday it got killed in a bigly way. Rebound today, I took a little bit of it, a little bit more aggressive, as I still think that the market still has a lot of downside due to the tariffs and all that kind of stuff. But before I take on SOXS again, I would like to see RT get back above 1. What do you think about Ring? I bought some of that this morning and I'm up. Let's go take a look at Ring. Ring. Now, I'm not asking for stocks, so don't start putting stocks in. All right, let's go take a look at Ring. Now, what do I talk about, Rose? Trade the chart. The chart looks good. The chart looks good. I got a definitely bottom left, top right, new high. Rose, I'd really like to see some commitment behind the move, conviction behind the move. Notice that volume is falling. So what I would do for you, I'm going to set you a stop. I'm going to set you a stop right about at this swing level right here. I'm going to set you a stop at about 38.52, and it's at 39.50. I'm not mad at you for this, Rose. I think that that's a good play. I'm not mad at you, but that is the last swing high before it moved up again. All right, nice open candle. I have a little wick at the top. I'm not mad at you at this play at all. But this is a flag for me. The stock's price is going up to a new high as volume is falling. Does that make sense, Rose, to keep your eye on it? Nothing more. I'm not telling you to take action. What I am saying is keep your eyes on that. All right? Let's get into some news. Big news. Nobody's talking about it. Why? Because everybody's talking about volatility. Everybody's talking about the tariffs. But inflation rate eases to 2.4. Now, the idea was that as tariffs were going to be put on, inflation was going to increase. Now, I understand it eased. We're still going to have to wait for a couple of more reports to show if the tariffs will increase inflation. Now, it won't increase inflation if a lot of people come to the table and we negotiate and then they don't get put on. Think about that. Now, there is a 10% across the board. All right, for everybody, there's a 10% across the board. Why you put a stop when the rec says buy and gold is only up? That's why Ring is up. Says, why do you put a stop? Because every stock you should own should have a stop on it. Does everybody agree with that? Bajal, I hear you, but I want to get everybody's take. Every stock you own should have a stop price, correct? Do you agree or disagree? I don't care what the industry is doing. I don't care what the sector is doing. But every stock you own should have a stop. Agree or disagree? So, Bajal, I hear you. I do hear you. But you know something? With the volatility the way it is, especially right now, Bajil, you got to have a stop on every stock you own. And you're right, Kinthos. I like a name that hasn't talked before. That's stagflation. It is. All right? That is. But inflation, hey, thank you, Joey. Look at that. Joey's all over that. But inflation, if it's not rising, that's a good thing, right? Sorry, still got a little head stuff going on. That's a good thing. We still need a couple of more readings to really dive into if inflation is going to be affected by tariffs. And I think the overarching thought is that it will be. All right. That's why people are losing money, because they don't have stocks. So, Bajal, I hear you. I don't care how good or how hot an industry or a sector is. Yes, I do like gold, but I don't care which gold stock. There's two things about gold right now. One, be very picky on which gold stocks you play. Number two, be picky. And number two, have a stop in place. Wow. Only 52% of you believe that you should have a stop? Wow. That's kind of mind-boggling after you see a day like yesterday. It's kind of mind-boggling that only a tad bit more of half of you feel that you should have a stop in place. That is crazy. And I'm not calling you crazy, and I'm not judging you, but I find that to be totally crazy. Now, Rose says, disagree. Lose too much on volatile days, but gotta watch like a hawk. Now, there's a lot of people in the room, Rose, who are okay with trading short term. When I say short term, a couple of minutes to a couple of hours. But most people in the room, Rose, are not on that level. Most people in the room are not. I only have stops on trades. I want to get out of my long-term stocks. Nvidia, Apple, Tesla don't have stops. You guys know, as much as I love Apple, I'm not in love with it. And Bajal and Rose both, I'm going to let you know that 80% of the stocks move with the trend of the market. So sometimes I think that it's a bad time to even be in good stocks. And I'm not one, in my portfolios, I'm not one to take a 30, 40, 50% drop on a stock. I would rather to get out, mitigate the loss, and wait for a better buying opportunity. All right? So what's your take on Wimmy? I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. Why are you asking me about stocks yet? I haven't gotten there, Rajiv. I haven't gotten there. Stops are confusing to set for me on my trading platform. So Golden Child, you need to talk to them. You need to talk to them and find out how they can clarify that stuff. All right? Apple, I bought at 170, and now I'm making money. All right? And you know something? As long as you're willing to wait, fine. But there's a lot of people in the room that can't wait that long, especially if this is the money that they need in retirement. They can't do that. Maybe you can, but there's a lot of people out there that can't. Maybe you have a lot of money in the market. There's a lot of people in this room that don't. So I'm only putting it into the perspective, a reality perspective, to accommodate the majority of the people in the room. Now, right now, I'm making an assumption on that as well. I don't know. So I do have some dividend plays that I don't use stops on, though, but that's my only exception. Be careful with dividend plays. At some point in time, if the dividend doesn't outpace the downfall of the stock, you got to reconsider why you're holding that stock even for a dividend. So just think about that, all right? Here's another story. Economic angst hits Wall Street as stocks plunge. This is today, all right? Fear engulfed Wall Street again as U.S. China trade tensions escalate, sparking a plunge in stocks. That's for today. All right. The dollar and oil will bond havens misfire anew in the latest sign of disorder in the financial system. A day after the biggest stock buying wave in 5 years, you realize that was the biggest day in a long time. They start sinking again today. Traders are rushing to game out how the effective freezing of China trade will impact corporate earnings. I think it's going to play a big role. It's going to play a big role. We consume a lot of stuff from them. And if we keep putting the tariffs on them, it's going to make it tougher and tougher for a lot of companies not to pass on the tariffs to investors or to um, um, people who are buyers, to the U.S. economy. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. The question is now, who blinks first? Type in the room. Who do you think blinks first, U.S. or China? All right. 145% tariff on China, 84% tariff on us. Who do you think blinks first? All right. And you know something, it may sound like a game, but man, this is a game of our lives. All right, of our financial lives. So I don't want to look at it as a game. I'm just curious. Who do you think blinks first, the U.S. or China? All right. I'm just curious. Tariffs will always hurt the poorest in every nation. Absolutely, it will, Chris, because those are the people that have a hard enough time trying to make ends meet. And now when the price of goods go up because of tariffs, they're going to be screwed. All right. A race to the bottom, says Rick. I hear you. Norman says USA. Back and forth, USA, China. We'll see. You know me, I like the interaction. I still can't believe that now about 50% of you believe that you need to have stops in place. Dr. DeLito taught me that long time ago. I don't care how good a stock is, you got to have a stop in place. You got to. You just have to. All right, going on to the next story. Gold hits new records as traders seek safety on tariff anxiety. There's a lot of gold stocks out there that are moving. Let me see, does it put out any? No, not really. The latest development fueled skepticism that trade talks will be wrapped up in a timely manner, despite the White House Economic Council Director, Kevin Hassett, saying the U.S. is well advanced in its discussions with economic partners. So when I said the other day in another live stream that there were like 50 countries lined up to talk to the White House, someone says with them dealing with contracts, there was no way that there was 50 countries out there that were lined up to negotiate. I don't know if that's true or not true. But I think that a lot of countries, knowing that we buy a lot of stuff, we are like the biggest buyer of stuff. I thought you guys said that we were, and it's correct. People want to do business with the United States. So they don't want to be on that tariffs because that's going to affect their goods, the price of their goods coming into the United States. All right. So, and China on the other side has got factories for stuff that's really cheap. And I was reading about China just turning all of these empty cities into more factories or turning them more into a war effort. They got a lot of stuff going on over there. They got a lot of people. So we were talking about how many people China had. Who has more people than China? Anybody want to put out a guess? Who has more people than China? China's got 1.4 billion people, right? We have about 380 million people, all right? There you go, Arxex. That's right. It's India. India has more people. That's right. And you look back and go, wow, how can that be with China being such a big, vast property, the whole 9 yards? But India's got more people. Now, watch this. Apple stock parties like it's 1998 to reclaim the first spot, elbowing out Microsoft. So you know the top three companies by valuation is Apple, Microsoft, and NVIDIA. Apple's now back at the top. You want to know what happened? No, they don't have 1.4 billion. They don't. Man, now I did a Google thing. I did hey Siri, how many people does China have? There's the number. You're going to tell me that that's not? There's the number. Can you read the number? What's that number? Was I wrong in saying 1.4 billion? Was I wrong in saying 1.4 billion? All right. Hey, Siri, how many people does India have? So I'm just checking. There you go. All right, so they're really close. They're really close hand in hand. But nonetheless, here's a story I want you to see. All right, that was about Apple. Here's another story about Apple. Apple airlifts 600 tons of iPhones from India to beat the Trump tariffs. Look at that. That's a heck of a story. Ryan did a short on that. I found the story. I gave it to him to check it out. He did a short. But do you see that number? 600 tons. Do you trust that number from China? Troy, it is what it is. All I can get is what I can get. Right, Troy? All I can get is what I can get. 600 tons of iPhones from India to beat the Trump tariffs. That's a lot of phones. I wonder how many phones that is. As of mid-2023, India's population surpassed China's, making India the world's most populous country, with India's population estimated at $1.4 billion again. See, somebody told me that China wasn't $1.4 billion. All right? So I'm just getting the information as I can get the information. All right? 1/3 of China is uninhabitable, okay? 90% of the population live in 40% of the land. So I was going off of the size. I didn't know that 1/3 of China was uninhabitable. All right, so that is why the president made the change he needed to get that still acts. Nothing has happened. He's doing a great job. Again, I'm not saying whether the president's done a great job or not a good job. I want to keep the politics out of it. What's up, Furby? All right, what did Dave say? I didn't know that 1/3 of China was uninhabitable. All right, but it is what it is. My friend is fighting with his carrier right now because they won't honor the deal he just made for an iPhone 16 price. He's up to president of Rogers now. He's up to the president of Rogers right now. Really? Wow. But again, what does that cause from? Volatility in the tariffs. That's why tomorrow's video is so important. All right. Another story, Boeing. Q1 commercial and defense deliveries rise year over year, but lags Airbus. So Airbus is still getting more. I need to get the company for Airbus. I need to put that up against Boeing. But we all know that Boeing's getting some contracts. They got a big contract for the F-47, all right, the next generation fighter. And they're in the running for the next generation Navy plane, the FAXX project. So we'll see. 300, wow, iPhone 16. What is that number? 3,200,000 iPhone 16s. Is that what it is? My brother's daughter studying there was in Gobi Desert and the border with Russia. Got you. Welcome any advice you offer, I take seriously. There you go. And he thinks he's found a great. I don't know what Amir said. So very interesting about, you know how I feel about defense stocks. I think ticker symbol DFEN is going to be a huge play this year. Huge. Across the globe, more and more people are ponying up money to bolster their defense. I think it's huge. All right. Palantir, you know I own Palantir. Palantir's got a story. Palantir jumps as AI government deals fuel confidence despite the lofty valuation. Palantir has been getting contract after contract after contract. So it was up 19% yesterday. I don't remember what it is today. I didn't watch. Hold on. No, I didn't watch it. I don't know what it's doing today. $125 price. This is coming from another website. But Palantir is still in the news. Palantir is still making money. That's all that matters. How did you do that, Amir? How did you paste that? Comment GoPal Unity. I don't know. How did you do that? Glenn, do you have a stop on Palantir? Nope. Yeah, I know. Before everybody comes jumping down my throat about having a stop on, judging you, which I wasn't, in regards to stops, I have told you on more than one occasion, I've made enough money that I own Palantir outright. Even if my trade right now goes all the way down to zero, I'm playing with the house's money. This is probably one of the only times you'll ever see me play a stock with no stop. The money that I've made on Palantir, I own it. I own it. It's not my money. It's house's money. All right, so that's the answer to that, Roy. All right, let's go back into the software. Where am I? There we go. Let's go back into the software. Let's go to the viewers tab. And let's start with what's going on in the markets. Everything is down. There it is. Streaming right now is 235. Everything is down. Let's go look at all of the indices. Let's go look at them all. After the big up day yesterday, right? After the big up day yesterday, what are they doing now? Put this on a 1 month graph. Look at that. The Dow, that's called a bearish harami. But look at all of the buying pressure. Look at all of the buying pressure. Let me take that off. Look at the buying pressure coming in on today's wick. What I'm looking for in regards to this big move to the upside, I need to overtake that to show me some confirmation of the move before I start to go buy stocks long. Right now, I'm not ready to tell you to go buy stocks long. I'm not. This one doesn't have the 3 and the 8 on it. Let's go see graph. Let's go find my 3 and 8. Look at that. The 3 is still below the 8. That's my fastest indicator that I have for any stock or for any indice. 3 and 8 exponential moving average. Look at on the Qs, though. The 3 is getting closer to the 8. Look at the buying pressure, big wick at the bottom. That's a positive sign, hopefully going into tomorrow. Same thing with the spiders. Look at the big wick at today's bottom, but it's still a closed red candle, which means the price is lower than the open. So we still have a down day on all of these indices, but the big wick at the bottom is promising. The VectorVest composite is forming a doji today. A little bit of indecision with a big wick at the bottom. I'm still not ready to tell any of you to start to think about going to buy stocks long, but you know what I do want to look at? Let's go find Unisearch. I'm going to talk to you about the gold plays, and let's go see if that factor's right. Delta searches industries. Let's do a 10-day RT Delta. Delta is a percentage change. I'm looking for the biggest percentage change on relative timing over the last 10 days. Ooh, aerospace and defense. Where's gold? See, this is why I'm telling you to be careful on gold. That's over the last 10 days. Let's do the 13-week RT Delta. All right, this is over the last quarter. Gold should be up here. There it is. Gold, mining, silver. Look at that. Over the last quarter, up 56% by relative timing. Healthcare nursing homes up 49%. HMO up 37%. If you're going to look for stocks to buy now, I'm going to do my picks on the fly. This is where I'm going to start to help you to find what stocks are moving. But right now, mining, gold, silver, let's go view the stocks in that industry group. And remember, this is over the last quarter, last 13 weeks. There's the gold stocks. They're moving. So for those of you who are a little bit more shorter term, let's do this. Nice, the last 5 days, RT. Last 5 days. Gold's not here, right? But aerospace and defense is over the last 5 days on RT. 13-week over the last quarter. Aerospace and defense, not on here, but healthcare, home, nursing homes, and HMO. Let's do this over the last 10 days, RT Delta. How many of you do not, there's aerospace and defense, that's over the last 10 days. How many of you do not have the VectorVest software? Type a me in the room. How many of you on the YouTube channel right now do not have the VectorVest software? Type of me in the room right now. The reason why I'm asking is for anybody who's ever looking to see what's moving in any market's conditions. This Delta Searches folder, in the VectorVest system can always put you on board with what you need to know from the perspective of what to buy now. All right? Amir, do you ever use the Delta? Because I think this would be a good point. If you've got to find some stocks to get into, this is a good spot. Over the last 10 days, let's do this over the last 5 days again. What's moving? Does every stock you own? Wow. I cannot believe that. Thank you, Joey. All right. Let's do this. So look at this. Last 5 days, retail home furnishings. Right click, view the stocks in that industry group. Ooh, what stocks are moving? Let's graph them all. See which stocks are moving. That ain't the one I want. That's coming up off a bottom. Hmm. And this is why we look at the graphs. Love Sacks, just a little old place where we can get together. Look at the 3 and the 8 cross on good volume. The 3 and the 8 crossed on good volume. What else is in here? No. Some of these I'm not feeling. What other industry is on the rise? Let's go look back into the system. What other industry is on the rise? Aerospace and defense. Let's right click, view the stocks in the industry. I'm giving you guys fish right now. All right? I'm giving you guys fish right now. Let's go look and see what's moving. Look at that. BAE Systems coming off a level of support, 3 and 8 cross. Oh, look at that. 3 and 8 cross on KTOS. Not in an uptrend, but look at that. RT is above 1. Oh, look at that. AVAV, 3-8 cross. RT is about to get across 1. Oh, look at that. I'm giving you stocks on the fly. Anybody finding this useful? Yes or no? Anybody else finding this useful? Archer I like, but not yet. I need the 3 to cross it. I love the bounce off of support, and I'm looking for the 3-8 to cross. Anybody finding this useful? Yes or no? I'm giving you fish on the fly, folks. All right? Even in this current market's conditions, if you got to have some stocks to look at least I'm putting you in the right spot. Look at that 3-8 cross. I'm not looking at that. 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 There you go. What other industries are moving? Let's go check one last time. All right. Move this up. And one more industry, chemical plastics. Let's go take a look at that. Oh, it's interesting. Look at this. Transportation starting to move. Why? I would think keep your eyes on transportation ships. All right. Keep your eyes on transportation ships. Let's go look at chemical plastics. Right click. View the stocks in there. Let's go see what's moving. Graph. Not feeling that one. No. Nope. Anybody see the advantage of at least going into some of these industries and looking at the stocks? If you don't like the stocks, go to the next industry. I've given you about 2 or 3 fish in here on the fly. I've given you about 2 or 3 fish in here, folks, on the fly. What did Ron say? Ron said something. No, because this is not the time to buy stocks. Ron, I'm with you. But there's a lot of people out there that are still looking for stocks to buy. All that, if nothing else, if you don't want to adhere to the guidance about not buying stocks right now, if nothing else, I'm trying to put you in the best space you can be. So, Ron, I'm with you. I'm not all about trying to buy stocks right now, but there's a lot of you out there who come to the channel who are looking for what stocks they can buy. And if that's the case, I'm trying to at least put you in the right spot. I'm still going to tell you to have tight stops on them, but use the graphs. If the graphs are giving you the okay, if you're trading the chart and not your heart, if the graphs are giving you the okay to buy, then we're going to go like this. We need more likes. Troy, I'm with you. That's true. You're only getting about 6 stocks today, 6, 7 stocks. That's it. Probably a good time to buy if you're a Buffett-like investor. I got a way to look for. If I'm going to look for Buffett stocks, Buffett-type stocks, I've got searches for that. Undervalued growth stocks, that's probably a way if you're looking for Buffett-type stocks, this is what I'm looking for. Graph them all real quick. Put these on a 1-year graph. No, I'm not looking for that. Oh, interesting. And the silver play, look at that. That's my banking play that went bust. Look at that. Orla, look at that. Undervalued, rising value, new high. This is how you find, and for those of you who are subscribers to the software, look at that. IAG. This is why I am a fan of gold, but be very picky about which gold stocks. Look at this. MRX. Undervalued, rising value, new high yesterday on the stock. Does anybody agree that this is what I just showed you are Buffett-like stocks? Type of agree or no. Does anybody agree that this is Buffett-like stocks? Notice that all of these are undervalued stocks, rising earnings per share, loving the volume as well. Um, this is Buffett does not like gold. I didn't say you did or not. All I'm looking for is the opportunities for Buffett-like stocks. But look at all these gold stocks, bottom left, top right, undervalued. Whether he likes them or not, there's some good plays out there for you to make some money. All right? Do you know if the tariff will affect Canadian gold? Rose, I do not know. I do not know. I don't want to answer a question that I'm not sure of. No, that's volatile. Another gold play. The gold stocks are killing it. Undervalued, rising value. So again, Buffett may not like gold, but if you like to make money, all right, if you like to make money, then I just showed you a search. I'm putting this up for the people who are subscribers to the VectorVest service and they want to see what the search is. Take a picture of it. All right. This is what I called undervalued growth stocks. Undervalued growth stocks. You're going to notice that all of these stocks have relative values above 1. Look at that. These are good upside potential stocks. They don't all have to be safe, but they're all in uptrends too. All right, scrolling over, they're all buy recommendations. Look at the earnings growth on these stocks. Look at the earnings growth and the sales growth in these stocks. That's why I call these Buffett-like stocks. All right, that's why I call this Buffett-like stocks. 2 years ago, VV posted a bottom fishing video. Go watch it. There you go. So this is a search that I created for the YouTube channel. For those of you who are subscribers, take a picture of this. All right. When this comes out on the recording, there's a spot for you to take a picture of this. All right. Last thing I'm going to do, we're sitting at 246. That's all I really wanted to talk about. There's the markets. There's the stocks. Where is it? No, not that. No, there's the stocks that made the news today. All right. I got gold stocks, Harmony. Look at my 3 gold stocks that I have in here are the only 3 that's rising. I do want to, you see that, Joey? We should have saw that earlier. Hasn't happened for a long time, though. This is an ETF for gold. There it is. Whoop, there it is. It's moving up again. It's moving up again. That's why I have, like I said, Palantir. I've got Palantir, 2 gold stocks, and a hedge, SQQQ. All right, undervalued growth stocks, Unisearch. Douglas, I created that. You will not find that in the Unisearch, which is why I kept the search up there so that you can build it. All right, I kept the search up there so you can take a picture of it and build it later. Forex, we don't track Forex, David. We don't track Forex. All right. How many likes we got? 7? 74? All right, tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to give you 8 stocks. We did the Glenn's picks on fish on the fly. How many of you like the fish on the fly? And I was just looking at the top industries. CRDO, where are we? Customer picks, there we go. CRDO, you're only getting 8 stocks. I got to empty that though. Let's see what I got. CRDO. Talent Energy, I like. I do. INOD, Citibank. Oh, they report. Banks start reporting tomorrow, right? SNEX, IAG, Palomar, PLMR. Yep. BWXT, Walmart. How many stocks is that? Did I not get it? Oh man. Empty the watch list. It didn't empty. It didn't empty because we got this thing going on right now. Sigh. Sigh, Joey. Sigh. That hasn't happened for a long time. Oh, how did that happen? What that flying flip happened there? Do this again. CRDO, TLN, INOD, C, SNEX, IAG, PLMR, comma, BWXT, comma, Walmart. How many stocks was that? Ah. It's not working. I got to close out. See if we can do this a different way. Something's going on with my software. CRDO. See if that works first. Can I bring up a graph? I can. Okay. CRDO, TLN, comma, INOD, comma, C, comma, SNEX, comma, IAG, comma, PLMR, comma, BWXT, comma, Walmart. How many stocks was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There was 9. All right, I gave you 9 stocks. All right, so here's the stocks you gave me. CRDO, I do like the bounce up. What graph am I looking at? Standard graph with value and volume. All right, I'm fine with that. Stock is still a sell. I've got a level of resistance sitting here at $59. Let's just call it $51. I got a level of resistance sitting at $51. I'd like to see it get above that, and I also would like to see RT above 1. More than that, look at that. Stock's in a downtrend. All right, if you're holding it, you got to decide what you want to do. Right now, it's on a rise coming up off a level of support. All right, I do like that. It's coming up off a level of support. It's moving up, but I'd like to see it break through that level of resistance. But more than that, I'd like to see RT above 1. I'd really like to see RT above 1. That tells me stock's in an uptrend. All right, stock got into a downtrend here, and it's just been moving down, 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 down. Stock's a sell. Let's go to the next stock. Talon, a little bit of a sideways move. There's the low level of support. It was in an uptrend. Now it's just a little consolidation going on right here. I've got a level of a channel. I love the bounce off support. Let's see if it can break through this level of resistance. All right, RT is above 1. All right, if you're in it, you know something? If you're in it, it is overvalued, but value is rising. All right, I do like utilities, whether it's electric or water or whatever it is. Utilities may not be a bad play, but I'd really like to see Talon get out of its own way. All right, it went from a hold to a sell, back to a hold. Let's see if it can break through that. I think it'll have good upside, at least to that level of the high, if it can break out of the channel. I do like the rising value, even though it is overvalued. Let's go to the next one. Same thing with INOD. Let's drop this down to this low level of support. Another bounce off support. Still a sell recommendation. This blue line is the stop price. Remember, for all those people who like, man, I don't know if I need a stop or not, VectorVest gives a stop price on every stock in the database. It's a 13-week moving average adjusted for the fundamentals of the stock. All right, keep that in mind. Anytime a stock goes below the stop price, it becomes a sell. Okay, it becomes a sell. It is still currently a sell. Even if you want to be a little bit more aggressive on the play, let it get from under the stop, and at least get to a hold. And then let's go see if it can break to that level of resistance. All right? Let's go to the next stock. Citigroup, another stock that's doing the same thing, bouncing off support. All right, still a sell. I like Citigroup in that it's undervalued. It's been beaten up so much that it's undervalued. Not only that, value is rising. RT still below 1. This is one of those times where I think that it's a bad time to be in a good stock. Relative value is above 1. It's got good upside potential, all right? But RT is below 1. Folks, for those of you who are learning to trade the chart, indicators like RT are going to help you tremendously. I know the stock is moving up, but why not wait for confirmation when knowing that the stock's in an uptrend? All right, what's up, Green Dean? Just keep that in mind. Next stop, Cenex. Well, let's go take a look at it. What can I see? Stock's in a downtrend. I'm going to use that. Stock's in a downtrend. It's now above the downtrend, all right? Undervalued. Value rising. RT is above 1, but with today's activity pulling down, I'm going to draw another freehand line. A more recent freehand line. Stock's price is currently below that. I do like that the stock is not a sell. It is a hold. Let's see if it can break out through this trend line. And if it does have at least headwinds. It won't catch headwinds until that high right there. So you got some room up into that level of resistance. All right. But with today's activity, RT is moving down. I don't use Delta. How do you do that? Bijal, I just walked you through that. What is Delta? A percentage change. And I looked at the percentage change of RT over several different time periods to give me a sense of what industries were moving. That's what I did. Does anyone know what they're doing? Who, Harris? Me or what they're doing? I think a lot of people out here have an idea of what they're doing. What I'm talking about for the last couple of days and in the live streams is I need you guys to have a plan in place. I need you guys to learn to read the charts. A lot of the stocks that you're giving me that you may own, you got to sit back and ask yourself, why do I own them? IAG on the rise. Once again, beautiful volume. RT is above 1. I'd like to see it back in the uptrend. All right. And a lot of the guidance that I give, you may be leaving money on the table for a day or two. I'd rather you do that and have confirmation of the move. I love the move here. RT is above 1, but I got a trend line. Let's go see if we can get back into the trend line. It's undervalued. All that looks good. All that looks good. Let the stock come to you, though. Okay. Palomar. Falling volume, new high, bottom left, top right. I like price action. Recently just bounced off. It broke through resistance, came back and tested its support twice. This is a good level right here. All right, new high, a little bit of indecision today. If you own it, leave it alone. My only flag to you right now is that volume is falling. That's not something to take action on. It's something to keep your eyes on. All right, all these stocks have low EPS. I don't have earnings per share on here. Palomar doesn't. This is on a 1-month graph, 3-month graph. Earnings per share is rising. Earnings per share is rising. Earnings per share is rising. Where did you see all these stocks have low EPS? I'm going back. All of these EPSs are rising. I'm not sure what you saw, Bijal, but look at these. All of the stocks that you gave me have rising earnings per share. So I'm not sure what you're looking at. Remember, our earnings per share is projected out. Our earnings per share is projected out. They're all moving. All right, IAG, nice breakout stock. This is why we're looking at these stocks. BWXT, again, another stock. A lot of these stocks are coming off of levels of support and moving back up. It's a hold. Would I be mad if you bought it? It'd be a little bit more aggressive. It's a hold. Why not wait to see if it can break out above that level of resistance on good volume? And RT going above 1. All right. Last one. Walmart's earnings are falling. Bijal. I gave you some fish, Bijal. Hey, did anybody write down any of the fish that I gave you on the fly? Did anybody write down any of the fish that I just gave you on the fly with that process of looking at the delta? Yes or no? So, Bijal, I'm trying to make it not hard for you. I'm trying to make it easy for you. I did it. A lot of the earnings per shares are positive and rising. And that's a positive sign, right? That's a positive sign. So, Bijal, I gave some fish, and I did it on the fly. I did. Were you not paying attention? OMG. What am I doing this for if you're not paying attention? Bill said, nope. Sorry. All right, I'm never trying to give you fish on the fly again. I'm taking that off the docket. No more giving fish on the fly. Okay? That's all I got to say. Nope. No more giving fish on the fly. Nobody pays attention. Amir said, that was his search. You took a picture, hopefully, of the search. All right. Thank you, guys, for this uneventful day. I just was here for about an hour. Nobody cares. Okay. But I'll do it again because I care. I'll do it again because I care. All right. So I did give you some fish on the fly. I gave you some stories. I talked to you about what's going on. I want you to pay attention to tomorrow night's video. Ryan's got a video tonight as well. Keep your eyes out for that. That's 6 p.m. tonight. 6 p.m. video tomorrow is going to be about volatility. Harris says, thank you, brother. See, there you go. That's fine. I'm trying to do my part. I'm trying to do my part. What about the bond market? The bond market was getting killed. I think part of what was going on with the tariffs affected the bond market. I think that could have added to the reason why we did the 90-day pause on top of people wanting to cut deals. So, what about Buffalo Trace? Nope, I'm not looking at any more stocks today. I'm mad at everybody. I'm mad at the whole community. I sat here, I went above and beyond to give you fish on the fly, and many of you didn't even care. No. I'm despondent now. That's the word of the day, despondent. But I still love you all. I still love you all. Jerry says I'm paying attention. All right, I got to go. Joey's, don't stay here because Joey's going to play a video of our meetup in Charlotte. It's going to come sooner. It's going to come sooner than you expect, and then you're going to miss out on it. So make sure you hit the link, www.vectorvest.com/roadshow. Adios. Arrivederci. Ciao. Au revoir. Sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. You know I love me some Hawaii, baby. Ooh-wee. Always remember, there's good people in the world. If you can't find one, be one. Odabu, bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until the next time, folks, see ya. Hey, VV Nation, I'm Glenn.
And I'm Ryan, and on May 1st, put it on your calendars. By popular demand, we're kicking off the roadshow in Charlotte, North Carolina. Break down what we'll be doing that day.
We're going to do 2 live streams there. We're going to do the Stock Analysis Power Hour, which is going to be done by Ryan. We're also going to be doing Trending Thursday live stream as well, which will be hosted by me. And in the middle, we've got a special presentation.
We've worked very hard for a special presentation titled Unlocking the Secrets to Financial Success. Now, after the business is done, we're gonna have some fun with our VIP experience where we rented out the presidential suite in Uptown Charlotte. We're gonna have a very own sommelier hosted by Jarvis Vineyards. And on top of that, we are gonna go over to Fahrenheit's, a beautiful rooftop restaurant where we'll be able to get to know our subscribers even more. To register, simply go to VectorVest.com/roadshow.